Hello, everybody, and guess what? I had to cough. And I don't know if I coughed during that intro, if you'll hear it or not. So, anyway, hi, everybody, and welcome to our live feed update show for today, the 31st of August. Can you guys believe that we all are already it's September? We're already Septembering. I can't even handle the fact that we're already Septembering. This is just crazy insanity to me. Anyway, I want to remind all of you super quickly of a few things that I'm sure you already know by the end of this season, and it's that if you missed any of our shows, you can check them out over at yourrealityrecaps.com/bb21. Find out where you're ranking in the trash draft, see our past shows with house guests, these daily live feed update shows, get the flashback time, spoiler graphics. Everything is over there for this season and previous seasons of Big Brother, as well as all the shows that we cover. You know the deal. If you guys are watching this live right now, you're probably on TVCo, and you should follow us over there at yourrealityrecaps.com/TVCo. It's where we do these live feed update shows daily, and where we do the live feed viewing parties with you, and then sometimes we'll watch the feed. So all of the Big Brother stuff is over on TVCo. Make sure you're following us there. That's where they're live. Of course, we're also live on YouNow, so make sure you follow us on YouNow as well. If you did, you missed a 3-hour... if you didn't, you missed a 3-hour hangout last night. We had a drunk Maximus mom with us. We had people that haven't been around in years visiting. We learned shocking news about Maximus mom, and I'm not even kidding. So you can check that out over there. It won't be posted on the website. I think a lot of people are confused. A lot of people are like, oh, sometimes I only see a show and it's only like every other day. There are shows every day. There are shows every day. They just might not make the website every day. So if you're following us on TVCo or YouNow, you will see them or can watch them there if you missed them. Oh yeah, we had Linda. Everybody had a great time last night. It was very fun over on YouNow, and here on Patreon, here on TVCo too. Lastly, if you guys want to help support our shows, consider becoming a patron. yourrealityrecaps.com/patron. You could access the patron-only Facebook group, prize giveaways, weekly shows, John's cooking show, the meal kit giveaways. It's where the after shows will be with the house guests at the end of the season. All over in the patron group. You can always do one-time donation at yourrealityrecaps.com/PayPal, or if you have any Amazon shopping to do, yourrealityrecaps.com/Amazon. To start your shopping, you don't pay any more. It really helps support our shows, and I would love it if you followed me on the Instagram. Oh, Eric, we're so upset. We missed your shows live. Now, look, that's not for you guys here in the chat room right now. It's for the people that comment below the videos, because guess what, everyone? If you missed them live, you can watch them on YouTube or the website or listen in iTunes. So that's where they are after the fact. They're just on TVCo and YouNow live. After, watch them on the website, watch them on YouTube. Thumbs up and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Hit the bell, leave a comment below, and a 5-star rating and a nice review on iTunes. So incredibly helpful. But I don't gotta tell you guys that. You're all here watching live right now in the chat. I see Natalie and Kim. Don't know why it won't let me do it free. You don't know why it won't let you do what free? Oh, gotcha. Well, I'll explain that to you when we do after. I'll explain that to you on the after. Okay, so I promise it's free to watch on the website and YouTube and iTunes. And it's free to watch the shows live. But yeah, I think on YouNow, you have to be a subscriber to watch the YouNow shows back. Anywho, Any hoozle. Are we going to talk about it? Now, like I said, again, there are things that we can't post. One of those things are, we watched the live feeds together. We watched the endurance comp on the live feeds together on Thursday. And oh Lord, everyone. I mean, is it still the greatest moment in all of Big Brother history?
You're okay.
Good job, girl!
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 It's my favorite thing in the whole entire world. It's possibly going to be my ringtone. I'm sorry, it's the funniest fool that I've ever seen in all of Big Brother history. I don't know what was happening. I don't know who falls like that intentionally. It's not like you haven't fallen in a Big Brother comp before. It's also not 900 feet in the air. It's the equivalent of, like, jumping off your table. It's like 5 feet up. Your feet are only 5 feet off the ground. Why would you, that is the equivalent of diving head first from your table. She had to protect her gesticles, says Lost in Kangaroos. Yeah, I guess she did. It was amazing. I love, my favorite thing every season is when we all get together and watch the live feed endurance competitions, or if there's something exciting on the feeds that we get to watch. I love when we get to do the special shows like we did on Thursday and watch it together. And, by the way, anybody in that show will tell you, and this has become a thing, like, when it happened the first time, we were all like, haha, Eric, that's funny. And then it happened the second time, and we were like, okay, Eric, that is a little bit weird, but still funny. I would like to point out it happened again on this endurance comp. Here's the thing. If I get up and leave, somebody will fall. This has now been 3 endurance comps in a row, where if I need to go get up for a minute after we've been watching for a while and I have to go grab a drink, the time that I'm away, somebody will fall. If I'm in the app and we're all talking, let me go make a tweet. I leave the show for a minute to make the tweet, somebody falls. It's like I am gifted into making these people fall if I leave watching them. Now, it's a gift and a curse. It was like a gamble every time. I did not expect Nicole to fall when I left that time. So I apologize, my bad. But I maintain, I don't think Nicole, I mean, we already know, so don't need to maintain. Nicole not winning this week was not bad for Nicole. It was bad for Nicole's, mental state. Nicole was definitely upset by it. I get it. She really wants to see her family. She loves them. She misses them. She feels like a failure and a letdown, especially coming off of those zings. She really wanted to feel like she was contributing to this new alliance. She just doesn't want to feel like a letdown. I get all of those issues and feelings that Nicole is feeling, but Nicole is unaware that next week is a double eviction, and Nicole, I would rather you play in it. I'll feel better if, God forbid, you end up leaving during the double, knowing you at least had a chance to play in it. And I mean, yeah, she felt it was her HOH. She was very sad. She was very, very sad about it. And, I feel bad for her because I believe that her sadness is genuine. Not to say that the sadness or tears of someone like Christy are not genuine, because I am sure that Christy believes that she's sad and upset when she's crying. It's just one of those things where when, you do it all the time, then it just becomes, well, that's your baseline. Like, crying's your baseline. So crying no longer is really the signal that you're super upset because crying's your baseline. Crying's not Nicole's baseline, so it's a little bit more impactful when she does it. if that makes sense. I hope she will be the least likely to go in the double eviction. I think Nicole is least likely to go for the most part. I think for the most part, she's the least likely to go. We already know, with Nick leaving, we talked about it on the last live feed update show, he really set up Nicole well upon his leaving with Holly and Jackson, letting them know how loyal she was and you need to keep her safe. We heard Holly and Jackson having conversations about we need to keep Nicole safe. Nicole is a great person to bring to the end of this game. We need to protect Nicole. And we saw during all the reverse campaigning, I'll explain why it's reverse campaigning in a minute, Nicole was off the table. Nicole was definitely off the table during reverse campaigning. Now, for those of you that are living under a rock or don't know to check our website for the spoiler graphic or to follow at BB21 Live Feeds over on Twitter, Jackson's your new HOH. Nicole fell moments before what Tommy is claiming the throwing of this HOH comp, thus leaving Jackson to be the winner. I believe the order in which they fell, Jessica fell first, no surprise. I believe followed by Christy, then Cliff. It was either Christy Cliff or Cliff Christy. Then Nicole fell. Then Tommy claims that he said to Jackson, how bad do you want this? Or do you really want this up on the wall? To which Jackson replied, I don't care. And then Tommy threw it. According to Tommy. Thus giving the win to Jackson. Now, P.S., if I was Christy, I would have been pretty pissed. I would have been pretty pissed if I was Christy. You know that they're coming after me. Why wouldn't you want to keep me safe, buddy, if it was so easy for you? I mean, what's upsetting for Nicole is, I personally don't believe that Tommy threw the competition. I think Tommy dropped because he could not hold on anymore, personally. So if that is true, Nicole needed to hang on like 3 more minutes and she would have been HOH. Because Jackson said, and I do believe him, that if it was him and Nicole, he would have thrown it to Nicole. And I kind of do believe him. So yeah, I mean, it kind of sucks for Nicole, but whatever. So now we have a Jackson HOH, and the reason that hold on. Jackson is really good at the comps, but not in seeing through Christy and Tommy. He really believes that they are working together. Ooh, I disagree with that completely. Jackson is 100% fine with Christy going home. His loyalty is 100% to Nicole and Cliff. Obviously, he has to play the game when it comes to Tommy and Christy. He definitely sees Christy as someone who would come after him. And I think I don't think he doesn't think that Tommy is not a threat. I just think he's not that concerned about Tommy, that he feels like I can probably beat Tommy in something physical, and I can probably beat Tommy in something mental, so I'm not really that worried about Tommy. So, Jackson is pushing for Jessica to go home, though, and not pushing for Christy. Now, I know a lot of people feel that this is a stupid move on Jackson's part to be targeting Jessica. So, let me put it to you this way. The reason why I said it was reverse campaigning this week, sure, Jackson had his one-on-ones with everybody, But it wasn't about anybody trying to convince Jackson why they should not be nominated or who should. Jackson had his mind made up the second he won. There was no question in his mind. So he basically just talked to people and kind of tried to make them feel better about what he was going to do, give them a heads up about what he was going to do. And what that is put up Jessica and Christy, which he did do. And we'll get into those campaigns and what people were saying or the conversations in a minute. I will just first go back now to this whole, I see a lot of people feel like going after Jessica is a waste. I kind of understand why Jackson is doing it, to be honest with you. Number one, he does obviously feel really solid with Nicole and Cliff. And he feels kind of okay with Nick and Christy. And I think he feels like it's a way to show good faith no matter who wins next week. In other words, the only person he doesn't have a real deal with or a fake deal with is Jessica. So make Jessica the target, which is what he's doing. He's telling everyone, you're the target. You know, I want Jessica out. Meanwhile, he will put up Christy, because if Christy goes, that's still good for him. He sees Christy as the bigger threat between the Christy and Tommy alliance. He would prefer Christy to go because he does feel like he can beat Tommy, or he could, in a mental or in a physical. Also, they kind of came up with the plan where if one of them comes down, that Cliff will go up as the replacement to not make the four-person alliance of Cliff, Nicole, Holly, and Jackson seem so obvious. Because at the end of the day, you only need three votes or 2 votes in the tiebreaker. They know they have it. In their 4-person alliance, if Cliff is up there or Nicole is up there, they have the votes. Because obviously, whichever of Nicole or Cliff is not up there will be 1 vote. Holly will be the other vote, and Jackson can be the tiebreaker. So as long as they believe in their alliance, there's nothing to worry about going into this. If in a worst case scenario, Jessica or Christy comes down from this block. Christy 4 weeks in a row. Christy has been on the block. That's some Survivor story for the jury. Is it? This is the other thing that I hear, a lot of people trying to even pitch in the house as a reason why Christy should go. Because she escaped the block 4 times. I don't know why we always think this is a good pitch. What that's saying is, there was always somebody that was more of a threat playing a better game than you 4 times in a row, and you are so indispensable that we didn't even care if we lost you if our actual plan didn't go through. Now, I'm just saying, on paper, that's how it would kind of come across. We're aware the first time we had there was the second time. Second time we had Taco Tuesday, that she got herself off, and that was brilliant planning on her part. But the last 2 weeks, or, this week and the previous week, she was never really going to be the target. She's not the target right now. She will never leave. It's driving me insane. She might go today. If Tommy wins or she wins this POV, she will very likely be taken off. I mean, obviously, if she wins, she will be taken off. But yeah. I think there is a chance she could be taken off, or there's a chance that Jessica could win. And if Jessica wins, then Christy goes. Sure, there's a chance Jessica could win. I don't know how big of a chance it is. I guess it's a good chance. I know, I hear, that's a good point. I'm looking to pull them up right now. I saw some of you saying you forgot about the NICKS exit interviews and goodbye messages. You are correct. I apologize. That is what we should have started with. I will do those in a minute. I hope it's Jessica or Nicole wins this POV. I don't want Nicole to win the POV. I don't want Jessica to feel like Nicole could have saved me and didn't going into jury. I'm not here for it. Obviously, it's got to be Hide and Go Veto at this point, or BB Comics, because the feeds went down like, oh boy, like 3 hours ago almost at this point. They're still not back. I do kind of feel like it is BB Comics as well. I feel like this is normally when we have a BB Comics. Yeah, you hope comics. Based on Tommy's discussion with Jackson yesterday, there is a higher stipend when they get to Final 5. Both Christy and Tommy mentioned they wanted to get to 5. Jackson stated, yeah, big bucks. Correct. I believe we talked about this in one of the other daily live feed update shows earlier in the season. Apparently, this year, the prizes significantly go up from 3rd to 5th place. Instead of just getting your stipend, you now apparently get a lot of money. I don't know what the actual amounts are. We're not going to clearly find out until after the season is over in a patron show. But you know I will find out. You know that I will find out. Do you think Macbeth is on the verge of breaking up while still in BB? Yeah. So, okay. These are all things we're going to talk about. What they're referring to is last night, oh my god, Cliff, not Cliff. Last night, Holly and Jackson got into a little bit of an argument. They got into a little bit of a scuffle. It seems like I know. The neighbors are having a party, and I was honestly worried that this was going to be a horrible time to go live with Charlie, but so far, that's not that bad. So yeah, they got into a little bit of an argument last night. It seems like, Holly and Jackson are having a little bit of trouble. Jackson was totally doing the silent treatment. I do have a clip of it, but first I want to show you this other clip. The new thing, just because I have this one ready to go. The new thing that the house guests are doing now is begging for videos from home. And after Christy was nominated, or no, it wasn't after Christy was, yes, it was after Christy was nominated, her and Nicole kind of had a cry fest. Go figure. About missing their families and being so sad and, oh, I'd give anything to see my family. And then, for one of the first times ever, Big Brother did this.
Begged mercilessly for the lights to get turned off, and then like, this bitch. What'd they just say? Who loves you? Begged mercilessly for the lights to get turned off, and then like, this bitch. What'd they just say? Who loves you?
Big Brother, Christy. Big Brother loves you. Which is really funny because, you know, those of you that have seen Nicole sometimes on the late night feeds, she always says, like, she'll always be like, I love you, Big Brother. I love you, big brother, do you love me? Like, she always says stuff like that late at night when she's in bed, so I think it is hysterical that Big Brother clearly created that for Nicole. Big Brother, hands down, 100% created that message for Nicole. Because she is always saying, like, I love you, big brother. Why won't you love me? Okay, here is a little bit of the start of the Holly and Jackson silent treatment. So Holly is looking at the picture wall. Here comes Jackson. No comment. And now the little puppy dog is off to follow him.
He literally came on Big Brother and had at least 5 different fantasies.
I have to say, I don't know what their deal is. Now, I just saw that it was very from, like, what I saw them, when I saw them bickering about it, it was very much Holly just being like, you know, this isn't who I am, and I get embarrassed very easily, and, you know, I don't like how, I hope I'm not being portrayed badly, and Jackson was very like, well, if you don't like how you're being portrayed, then you need to do something to change it, and da-da-da-da-da. Like, I don't really understand what the catalyst was for this argument, but more and more lately, it seems like they've been arguing at night. Like, they're super fine during the day. Then at night, they get into bed and they have these stupid, petty, passive-aggressive, dumb arguments. He's very controlling. Jackson 100% is very controlling. There's a lot of red flags in their relationship. But, then again, now I will say, I was very vocal about being like, Haley and Fessy are so dysfunctional. Haley and Fessy were literally the worst example of what a relationship can be in the way people communicate with each other. They had zero communication skills, and it was all just like passive-aggressive arguing all the time. But I have to say, those two kids worked it out and made it work in the real world. So who knows? Who knows? Jackson wanted to tell the house guests, but Holly says to his Winkle, so he got very upset. Jackson was saying personal things about Holly on the feeds, and it upset her. Yeah, but it's the same exact argument of the clip that we showed the other day, when he was like, you know, don't joke around about me only lasting 2 seconds, and then I won't joke around about you doing blah, blah, blah. There's, you know, Big Brother watching, and the live feeds are on, and Orwell's on. That's always what he does. Like, they're always upset about when the other one jokes about them on the feeds. I don't get it. Honestly, it's so stupid to me. It is so stupid to me. We're always watching. We are always watching you people. Okay, so let's jump back now to the Nick eviction. To the not eviction, interview. Let's see what Julie has to say to our
who was just evicted
precious little Nick
5-0 from the Big Brother house.
Unanimously.
Christy accused you of playing all sides of the house.
Yeah, she did.
Is that a fair assessment of how you played?
I mean, I definitely had good relationships with people on both sides of the house, but...
Okay, let's talk for 1 second. I don't know who penciled in his eyebrows here, but no. No. Now, this is great hair for him. I like this hair. This is great Nick hair. Who have this whole look, I enjoy this look on Nick very much. But whoever did your hair went a little too crazy with the eyebrow pencil. That's all I'm saying.
Everyone knew what I was doing. Like, it wasn't a secret. I was pretty transparent. Like, after I got kicked out of my alliance, after my vote flipped, I literally had to grind my way back. And I wasn't just going to sit there, so I linked up with Nicole, I linked up with Cliff. I won the counting sheet veto, and then after that, Tommy and Sis wanted to work with me again. What am I going to say? No? No. I want to work with them. So now I'm good on both sides of the house.
Both.
And I was protecting people that I cared about.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess you could say I'm playing. I feel like if you're playing both sides of the house, they don't know. Like, everyone knew where I stood.
Well, at that
Everyone knew where you stood. Everyone knew where you stood. That's what we're gonna go with. That everybody knew where you stood. I don't. Okay, Nick.
point when there were so many people in there, if you had to choose one person that you really
Nicole.
was your ride or die, was there one yet?
No.
What
Whoa.
about right now? Out of
Nicole,
every-
100%. 100% hands down, Nicole.
You just said no.
What if Tommy gave you a vote tonight to stay? Would it still be Nicole?
I don't, honestly, once he made that decision of promising someone a vote before a veto competition, when I'm sitting on the block, that's when.
He
it was
didn't,
done to me.
honey.
So, like, possibly before that, yeah, sure, he might have been, but Nicole was so loyal.
Okay.
He did not promise the vote, Nick. He did not.
Let's talk about when you went up to the HOH bedroom and tried to broker a deal
Broker.
with Mickey and
It
Holly.
was amazing, by the way. Did you guys like it?
It was a good. You were like, "Hey, I work for you.
Yeah.
I'll do what you want."
I don't get it.
If they voted to keep you,
I was serious.
and if they said you had to double cross Nicole,
Wasn't gonna do it.
but would you have lied to them and say, "Yeah, I'll do it"?
I told them straight up. I told them straight up in that room. I don't know what was shown.
Okay, now, Nick, I want you to know you're getting an intern fired right now. I just want you to understand, Nick, right now, you are getting one of the interns fired and possibly Julie's assistant. Okay? Julie is unaware of this fact because she does not watch the feeds of the show, Nick. She had a very simple question for you, and now you're making her look stupid.
I told them straight up in that room. If they said, "What would you do if you sat next to Cole?" and I said, "That'd be tough," but I was like, "I'm not putting her up." I said, "That's
He
the
did
one
say
person
that.
I'm willing to." And he was like, Mickey was like, "Say less," and I was like, "Okay." Like, he didn't want me to say like pretty much who I would have put up. No shot I would put up Nicole. Not gonna happen.
He wanted you to say less because he wanted to still work with you. Had you said less when you were leaving that room, you probably would still be in the game. Probably.
I would have rather, if they would have said, "Oh, we'll take Christy off the block, you have to put up Nicole," I would have said no. Even though I was a prankster, it wouldn't have happened. I'm loyal.
You
That was
think?
my whole game was based off of loyalty, and I wasn't going to break it just for my game to stay. Nope.
Okay. As you
you
put
say
it,
so.
America put their faith in you
Sorry.
by voting you as America's prankster. Why do you think they voted for you over everyone else?
I feel that they hopefully
is
thought that I
cringy.
didn't deserve to be in the position that I was. I feel that Christy blew up my game because her game was going down the chutes. Sorry, I'm trying to keep my language good. Going down the chutes, and she was jealous of my game, and a whole reason for her to stay was to blow up mine. And I personally believe that's dirty, but I know you're gonna say I blew up my own game, but she was gonna do it in the campaign. She was gonna campaign against me anyway. What's the difference? I'd rather be there to protect myself.
Because when you made the preemptive strike, she sat there so calm.
I know, she's so annoying. She's so annoying.
And you were like, bro, you know.
Because it wasn't just her. It was Jess trying to put me up during her HOH, Kat blowing up my game, everyone talking about me playing both sides, and it was like just like icing on the cake. Like, I'm literally sitting out there reading the Bible, minding my own business, and I hear,
Sure.
"Oh, I'm gonna blow up someone's game." I'm like, at Taco Tuesday, like, grow up.
Do you blame her? I mean,
Yes.
isn't that what
Did
saved
you
her?
blame her?
Isn't that what saved her?
Yeah,
game?
it was a great move, but I don't respect it. I think it's a dirty move, but good job staying. Like, I respect that part that she stayed, but not how she did it. I would never do that. Like, I could have buried people this week too. That's just not how I'm
You
gonna
did
go
it
out.
to Nicole.
You said in your final plea speech
Do you
to
remember,
everyone,
like, week 2?
Thanks for voting me as America's prankster. Why did you reveal that to everybody? And you told
Mickey.
in the house.
I
Why?
had to tell them after I didn't win the veto, which was so annoying, by the way, because it was so close. But I thought that, like, telling Mickey, like, bro, I could have put you up, and I did not. That shows that I was loyal to you. Regardless if I was considering putting him up, he didn't have to know that.
stupid.
So I was like, bro, I didn't put you up this week. Like, that could have been good for your game. That shows that I'm loyal to you. And it
I
needed
don't
people
want
to
a
know that
therapist
I
that
didn't put up.
uses the
I
word
could have
bro
put you
so
up. That
much.
means I am loyal to you. You should return that favor and give me a vote. That was my angle at it.
Vote.
We also heard in your final plea speech, big shout out to Bella.
I miss her so much. Holy God.
The two of you said, I love you to each other in the house after only knowing each other a few weeks.
29 days, I think it was.
And you said it again. So how serious is this? What do you want to see happen out when you're both out in the real world?
I'm so down for whatever happens.
You live in New York. She lives in
Jersey.
LA.
Jersey.
Oh, you
Come
live
on,
in
Julie.
Sorry, East Coast.
No, I do live in Jersey, but her dad does live in Jersey too. We had both discussed that we didn't want to do long distance, but at the same time, like I'm 100%
But I have a feeling that you'll trade up and move to New York.
ready to see what happens and make it work. I'm always going to have love for her, and I'm always going to care about her regardless of what happens. She's literally an amazing person.
I mean, I'm sure on the off chance that you are somebody where this is your first live feed update show and have missed the Bella drama, Bella not happy. Bella not into the relationship anymore. Bella is unhappy with the foot jobs and the sis cuddling and the cat cuddling and no. Bella ain't here for this relationship. No.
And I literally can't wait to see her again. If it works out when we get out, then I'm going to be so happy. And if it doesn't, then it won't, and I'll still have her in my
This
life.
is like his therapist
Well,
face.
in the event that you were the one evicted tonight, your now former house.
Like, this whole entire thing is like Nick's, like, therapy face. Like, everything like, every answer is like, so I want you to know, Julie, that I just think that if we are to factor in all of the equations into what is going on, that then we will see what the proprieties of all the parts are. Like, what is with this face that I have never seen Nick make before?
Housemates, tape some goodbye messages. Let's look over my shoulder here.
Okay.
Let's watch and listen.
Okay, let's. Come
Nick,
on, girl.
From the moment that I laid eyes on you, even with that Hail Caesar haircut, I knew that I was going to fall madly and deeply in love with you. I wanted to protect you, but I had to protect my word more. Bromance!
You mean you gotta
Nick,
protect...
you have this insane charm about you.
Who is that?
And I saw completely through it. I am so sorry, but not sorry that you're out of this house.
Nick, man, it looks like our love-hate relationship in this game has finally come to an end. You had several people wrapped around your finger, and I was not one of them, and that is why you had to go this week. I love you, and I'll see you in Jersey. Mwah.
Oh.
Nick, I absolutely hate that you are seeing this right now. I did try to advocate for you, but Holly was just so...
I would just love it if, as a joke in this message, Nicole was like, Nick, just want you to know, I was never working with you. I was always working against you. I orchestrated your removal from this house this week. I am a Black Widow spider of this game, and all of you stupid morons never see it coming. And then at the end, just go, haha, just kidding, miss you. That would be hysterical.
so adamant about you being her target. Go raise hell in that jury house, and I'll see you on the other side.
I love her.
Nick, I am so sorry that you were hearing this goodbye message. I had been told that Tommy had already sworn his vote to Holly that he would support her position.
I know.
So the House already had the 3 votes it needed to send you out the door, and I couldn't vote against the House. It just wasn't meant to be.
I get it.
I'm sorry, Nick.
Nick, as a fellow strong game player, I hope that you can respect this move. This was a shot that I was afraid I would never get a chance to take again.
For sure.
You know I love you,
Yes.
cuz.
Is it the lighting? Her face looks like fake. I guess it's like the shadow under her chin. It just looks like a tiny little head that's been like placed there to like bobble. No, I'm not saying she doesn't look pretty. She looks fine. She looks pretty. I'm not saying the makeup. I'm saying like the face looks like it's almost 3-dimensional away from her body. It's weird. All right.
You're funny.
Nick,
Ooh.
you're my dude, and
Yes.
I have nothing but the utmost love and respect for you. For me personally, in my own individual game, it just couldn't benefit me to keep you here over Chrissy. Say some prayers for me and enjoy your time.
I got you, dog.
Dog.
You got a lot of love.
Yeah.
Do you love everyone left in the house now? That's a no.
No, yeah, I don't think so, no.
Who's on the you don't love so much list?
Christy, obviously.
Well, she said love hate, so you're saying less
Yeah,
love,
but
more
I mean,
hate.
like, I had to continue to play on that in case I stayed in the house.
Yeah.
I mean, I tried not to take stuff personal, but she made so many things personal in this game, like, a lot. And
Do you think the feeling is mutual? How do you think she feels about you?
I don't care. If she doesn't, like, you're not gonna like everyone in the house. Like, I did have mad respect for her, and I did have her back, and she literally,
Did you?
like, was such a good liar. Like, she just would not admit anything. Like, that's all I could say. Day 33 in the bathroom, and she just kept lying. I never said that. Yes, she did. I can't wait. I can't wait until everyone comes out of this house and they see that what I was saying was true. Like, if America saw
I
it,
think you're
like,
in
you
for a
guys
surprise,
are pretty
buddy.
ignorant to it, but whatever. I do love Tommy, but I don't know. That's a cop-out, in my opinion. I was a little mad at Cliff, but he knew that he couldn't get the vote, and I do believe that if Mickey would have gave the blessing, that he would have done it. I respect Holly and Mickey game the most. I really, really hope that they win. I do know, well, I don't know anything, but if they can survive this week without winning HOH, one of them is 100% getting the final two, like, guaranteed.
Well, they won
Final
again.
thoughts?
This was an amazing experience, an amazing game. I wish more people were loyal to me as I was to them, but I literally have no regrets. I would do it again in a heartbeat. I would run right back through that door, that little doggy door too, if I was allowed. And yeah, it's just an amazing experience. And now I can use this platform to, you know, promote mental health, promote equality, and promote things that I really care about. So I'm just blessed.
You seem sad.
You're off to join Jack, Kat, and Annalise in the jury house. You looking forward to seeing all of them?
Yeah, I didn't want to smooth things over with Kat. I'm sure when she came out here, she was not happy with me.
Notice
but I
how
really
the
have so much
audience
love and
is
respect for
not
everyone.
reacting
I
to
can't
you.
wait to see Jack again, but especially Kat, I want to, like, apologize and square. I just couldn't tell her why I was really voting her out, I felt like. And Sis, I mean, if she blames me, that really wasn't my fault. She should be mad at Christy. And I'm going to make sure that she knows that Christy did say how she reacted when she was a pawn. So I'm going to make sure that Christy's down 0-3 with me, Jack, and Sis if she gets to the end. I can promise you that.
Bitter juror.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bitter juror, party of one. Oh, we're gonna have such bitter Betties in this jury, which is why Nicole just needs to make it to final two, and then she wins. And then he makes it, and then Nicole wins. I'd love for it to be Tommy and Christy final two just to piss him off. Look, here's the thing, and I know this is not a popular opinion at this point in the game. There's a very specific reason why going back to what we talked about on the beginning of this show, why I am actually happy that Jessica is leaving. Sure, you could argue that this is not the greatest move for Jackson. It's a gamble. Every single move you make in Big Brother is a gamble. I do think this was the best gamble for Jackson, personally. Because I think Tommy, if he does win, probably will keep at least Jackson safe in this double. Probably not Holly, but I think he will try and keep Jackson safe. Had he put up Christy and Tommy this week, that would not have been the case. And just from a completely hypocritical standpoint, I am aware this is the most hypocritical thing that I can say. Now, that being said, Jessica needs to go because she does nothing in this game. It would be a travesty for me to see anybody left in that house leave before Jessica at this point. Yes, she had one great week, but that's it. And you guys can like Holly and Jackson, or you can hate Holly and Jackson, but you cannot deny the fact that Holly and Jackson are doing stuff that every other alliance has always claimed they were gonna do with way more people, and that is win back-to-back-to-back-to-back competitions. Jackson's only lost one of the ones he hasn't played in the last month. One. And it was POV. They just keep winning HOHs back to back. And I mean, you can not like the personal things, because that's what I kind of see like a lot of people on Twitter saying now, like, oh, we're all just gonna forget about the way Jackson was in the beginning of this game and the personal thing. No, I haven't forgotten any of the personal things any of these people have said or done. I'm just talking solely about game. And based on their game and what they have done and their game report cards, Holly and Jackson are pretty much the most deserving winners at this point. I don't really know, unless they take a massive turn starting this double and then just never win another thing. I think Jackson / Holly are probably the most deserving winners at this point. I think Tommy has really slipped in the past 2 weeks, losing all of his people and just not fighting for them. Has really, earlier in the season, I was so for Tommy and Christy are probably the most deserving people to win this game earlier in the season. But in the past month, where Holly and Jackson have risen to me, Tommy has just really gone downhill. And then again, the reason I say I'm a hypocrite, yeah, I get it. I want Nicole to win, and you could say she's kind of basically the same as Jessica. Now, my argument or counterpoint to that would be, not really, because Nicole is included in all of the plans that are happening each week. Nicole is part of a 4-person alliance. She might not be contributing to it, but she is part of the moves that are being made to move the game forward. She was actively trying to keep Nick in this game. She's talking game with people. She's making, the best move that she can while not really playing in anything. You also have to remember, for the people that say, oh, Nicole doesn't win anything. Well, the only thing Nicole's played in is HOHs. So you can't really compare her loss to win record versus someone like Jackson who's played in everything. Nicole hasn't played in anything. She hasn't played in any of the punishment competitions, the stupid bird thing, the America's field trip. She hasn't played in all of it. All she's playing in is the HOHs, and I think she played in one. No, she didn't even play in the POV on the week she was on the block. She was the replacement nom, right? Yeah, she didn't even play in that one. I don't see how little Tommy has slipped under the radar. He's the biggest snake. Oh, I don't think that Tommy has slipped under the radar. See, this is the other, again, if this is the first show that you are watching, we know that Cliff and Nicole are both aware of Tommy and Christy's preseason alliance. Now, because of the wall shouter, and they played the audio and it was over the yard. If you missed that show, I linked to it on my Twitter on Thursday again, or go back wherever you're watching our shows, and it's the one that, mentions wall shouter in the title. So they know. And what I found interesting about Thursday night's show is they all but had Nicole allude to the fact that she knew that. Like, she basically said everything except the words, I heard it from a wall shouter, which I thought was super weird. And again, it is why I do not understand why they did not want to make the move on Christy and did not push harder for Holly and Jackson to evict Christy. But I'm not going to go into that whole thing again. We already talked about that on the last show. So anyway, Cliff very much, Tommy is Cliff's target. If Cliff somehow were to win an HOH, I think on this double, he hands down is putting up Christy and Tommy. Like, well, obviously, no questions asked. He's in a 4-person alliance. But let's say that, you know, other people were there. He's going after Tommy. And personally, I think it's because he knows of their preseason alliance. I personally think it is because the whole coming out of the preseason alliance thing. So it is very interesting. Then why has Jackson or Holly not put him up? Not put Tommy up? We are officially at the 4-hour mark for this competition. I agree. Again, the reason they have not put Christy and Tommy up is because they have a fake alliance with them, and I believe they are trying to hold on to keeping that fake alliance together as absolutely long as possible. I think he does not want to, this week, take a shot at them and then go into next week having whoever is left over definitely coming at him, possibly Jessica coming after him, because he's afraid of Jessica from a mental standpoint. This was the best way to keep two couples happy with him one more week. Now, I agree. When you have the shot, you need to take the shot, but I do understand his reasoning for wanting Jessica out. He is worried about the mental comps. Jessica is great with memory. They were really scared it was going to be BB Comics today. And he really said, look at how amazing Jessica did on that last memory comp. She's a photographer. She looks at photos and looks for discrepancies and things all day long. She's gonna nail BB Comics. I want her out before that happens. They were not exactly expecting it to happen to this week. They thought it would be more of a next week thing. Jackson will use their allies to take each other out. Correct. Jackson is very good at this game. I know it pains people to admit it, but Jackson really is good at this game. And I have to say, there is really nobody in that jury, considering the fact that it has been back-to-back-to-back HOHs like Holly Jackson, Holly Jackson, Holly Jackson. Other than Sis, nobody's really putting the blame on Jackson and Holly for why they're there. They really aren't. They are blaming the people that have flipped the votes from week to week. Now, yes, Sis did leave annoyed at them. But I think once they cool down, people will appreciate Jackson's pitch that he makes to all of them of, I didn't want to backdoor you. I respect you in this game. I'm putting you up right from the start. I'm telling you to your face, I'm coming after you. I'm giving you chances to fight for your life in this game. I'm not snaking you. I'm not playing a dirty game. We're playing a game. Like, this is the game we're playing, and I could play it sneaky to get you out, or I could be upfront and honest with you, and that's how I'm going to do it. And I know that's going to make a less bitter jury against him if he makes it to the end. I've been watching the new Dark Crystal on Netflix and not feeds. So did they switch back to Jess being the target again? Because last night, before they went to bed, I saw Nicole and Holly point out why Christy going would be better. Well, they did, but here's the thing. As we have seen in all of the times when Jackson is HOH, it really doesn't matter what the thoughts are of the little ladies in the house. Jackson is going to stick with what Jackson wants them to do regardless. And they're going to fall in line and do whatever the HOH says. If it's the HOH week, they will do whatever the HOH says. Now, to be fair, to flip that around, Jackson also has been on board with Holly every week. He has not tried to change Holly's mind either. Whatever Holly has said she wanted to happen, Jackson has backed her up completely and not tried to change her mind. I personally think Nick would have been great for Jackson's game, and I was surprised that Jackson did not try and fight to want to get Nick to stay. But he did say, I will support whatever you want, and he did do that. Jackson doesn't really have a say. Cliff, Holly, and Nicole can vote her out. Oh, Michelle, if only the season worked that way. That is my biggest frustration with this season. I do not understand why these people have to do what the HOH says when it is an anonymous vote. Vote how you want. They are all so determined to do whatever the HOH says week to week. It drives me insane. Diane says, yeah, but their spat probably changed the dynamics. Diane, nothing changed. I know we all want to hold on to hope that you guys all think that somehow the target's gonna flip and that Christy is gonna go. As of this moment right now, I don't believe that to be the case at all. If there is a case to be made, it will be made late Wednesday night. That is when you need to convince Jackson. Nothing that you are going to say to Jackson today do I believe will remain in effect come Thursday. That is not the way Jackson operates, and usually he doesn't even want to entertain it. Usually he doesn't even want to entertain listening to any other options either. But yeah, so I mean, it's definitely going to be an interesting dynamic. I will also say, you know, during the conversations with people, I also appreciated the way Christy handled her conversation with Jackson before the nominations. She very much was like, look, this is what I signed up for. I told you if you kept me, I would be the pawn every week. So I can't complain. You're doing what I agreed to, and I can't be bitter towards you for doing that. So I thought that was a mature way for Christy to handle it. When he was, and you know, when he said to her, you're not the target, Jess is 100% the target. But what I found interesting is that Christy specifically asked Jackson, so what if I'm still up there? Like, what if I am still on the block and Jessica goes down? And Jackson was like, well, then Cliff goes up. And she's like, yeah, then Cliff goes up. Who's going home? And Jackson was very much like, oh, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Oh, we'll deal with that when we get there. So that should have been so telling to Christy. The fact that Jackson was like so upfront and honest about every single other aspect of what he's doing. The fact that he would not tell her, you're not going to go home, should have been the biggest red flag to Christy. She really didn't pick up on it from what I've noticed. She was kind of fine with that answer from what I've noticed. And by the way, before the nominations, Tommy and Christy had a conversation, and Tommy very much felt like we need to force Jackson and Holly into a corner. We need to know, is their loyalty really to us or to Cliff and Nicole? because they're really not talking game with us at the end of the day. And I'm going to flat out say to them, I want to talk game. I want to be involved in the plans. I want to know what's going on this week, because they're not going to be able, whatever their plans are that they would have with us are going to be in complete contradiction to whatever plans they could have with Nicole and Cliff. We need to force them into that corner. And I think that is what Christy was doing when she was talking to him. So that she can kind of have some ammunition in her mind that if things don't work out, she can go run to Cliff and be like, well, he was going to put you up. But little do they know, Cliff, Nicole, Holly, and Jackson have already talked this. Nicole and Cliff know every single thing that Jackson has said to Tommy, Christy, and Jessica. He knows everything. So that was the pitch to Christy. The pitch to Tommy was just more of the same. Like, well, not exactly the same. He took the spin of, I want to keep the guys safe. That's why you're not going up, Tommy. I need to keep the guys safe. That's why you're not going up. We know that Jessica wants to target the guys. That's why I'm putting her on the block. So I'm putting Jessica on the block because I want to keep us as guys safe, and the guys need to be kept safe. And then he's like, okay, but then why Christy? And then he's like, well, Christy is super close with Jess, so we wouldn't want Christy up there because Christy's super close with Jess, so that'd be a bad idea. And he's like, okay, I guess I get that, but not really. And then he's like, well, now, what if Christy or Jess comes down? And then Jackson's like, well, then Cliff goes up. And I'm like, Jackson, warning, warning, warning. The first 30 minutes of your pitch to him was you're doing this to keep the guys safe, and now you're saying you're going to put a guy up? Because Tommy's kind of like, well, why not Nicole? Why would you put Cliff even in that position? And he's like, oh, because, Nicole is, more likely to go. So I don't want Nicole to go. So if Christy comes down, Nicole, nope, can't go up. I'll put Cliff up there. It should be a little bit telling. Why does everybody think they need to protect Nicole? Because she's so adorable. Did you ever have a Polly Pocket when you were a kid? Did you ever have like a My Little Pony? Did you ever have a gay friend and you were like, ooh, I wish I had a pocket gay? Like a little person I could just pick up, stick in my pocket, and have him be a little ray of happy, fun sunshine. That's Nicole. That's why we want her to win. I admit that's hypocritical. I hear you. I'm telling you. I agree. Hypocrite. Me. Right. I agree. I just like her. I just feel if you handed me $500,000 and said you have to give it to one of those people, I would give it to Nicole. I think she would do the most good with it. And that's not what the game is supposed to be made of. So I'm able to compartmentalize my feelings and do it on both sides. If I'm going with logical, strategic, just based on gameplay, I would like to see Holly or Jackson win. If I'm going with emotional and who do I like the best as a person, who do I think, just go personally on emotions, and who do I think would do great with it and needs it, but Nicole. So I'll be an emotional voter and say, oh, Nicole hands down is who I would give it to. Sorry. Just this season. Plus here's the thing, and this is just honestly solely for my own selfish reasons, so in theory you could also say this is strategic. I just want there to be a Nicole winner that I love, so that in the future, when I talk bad about Nicole, I can just be like, no, I meant the Nicole that we all love, and use it as an excuse. Got it? Got it. Because I'll tell Nicole. Nicole literally lives 5 minutes away from me. Nicole and I are going to have many a lunch date after this season. And I'm going to give her the tea and the rundown and the scoop. And honestly, I think Nicole might be the first person that we have an in-studio show with. I mean, I don't know why we wouldn't. Why would I want to deal with her whole entire Wi-Fi and have to deal with that and trying to set them up and like we can do right here. Come on down, Nicole. Come into my basement. So I think it'll be fun. Anywho, any hooty hoo-hoo. I got so sidetracked. So that was the conversation to Tommy. Again, Jackson knew what he was doing the whole entire time. Lastly, over to Jessica. He was terrified. Jackson wanted to legitimately shit himself over the fact that he was going to have to tell Jessica she was going on the block. And what I found so interesting, he was legitimately scared. Every single person was like, I don't know. I don't want to tell Jessica. I don't know how she's going to handle this because she's so happy. She's been so happy all day. And how do you tell a happy person that you're going to put them on the block? Who knew that by Jessica being clueless about what is going on in this game around her, honestly almost worked to her benefit. Jackson was almost not going to put Jessica up simply based on the fact that she was walking around without a clue that she was going on the block. The fact that she was so clueless that she was going up and almost seemingly happy was the reason Jackson was honestly considering how else he could maneuver these nominations as to not upset Jessica. I wanted 4 times yesterday to put out a tweet that was like, who knew that Jessica doing nothing would actually be helping her game right now? But then the worst thing that I heard Jessica say was when she was like, oh, I went to Landmark and I went to a 3-day retreat with Landmark. I was like, that literally explains everything I need to know about you. That right there explains everything I need to know about Jessica. So for those of you that don't know what Landmark is, it's a, like a self-esteem and awareness building retreat where you tap into, your inner thoughts and psychology, and it is framed as a psychological 3-day retreat where you're going to solve and cure all your inner demons and become your best self. But what it really is you trying to recruit your friends and family to join at $1,000 a day. Because you paid $3,000 a day to join, $3,000 for 3 days, and you legitimately spend 2 days trying to get your family and friends to join. It is unbelievable the scam that this thing is. I know somebody who went to it and left. I know people who have done podcasts about it, and it is just mind-blowing the scam this is. And it is for, I don't want to say weak-minded people, but I'm just going to say gullible people are very easy to be taken advantage of. It didn't surprise me that Jessica fell for this scam, is my point. Didn't surprise me that Jessica fell for this scam. But Jackson, in talking to Jessica, was very much like, I love you so much, and this kills me. Oh my God, it kills me. This is the worst thing that I could ever do. I don't want to put you on the block. I love you on a personal level, but it's game, but personal. I love you. I want to make love to you. I want to tongue you down right now. I love you so much, Jessica. I just want to throw you on this bed, and I want to get randy with you. I just want to lick you up and down. I love you so much. He must have said, I love you so much to her at least 50 times. At least 50 times he must have said, I love you so much, Jessica. And then my favorite parts is when Jackson would do stuff and go like, I just gotta look at it. Jessica, I'm just looking at it like this. You and Christy are the biggest threats in this game. And Jessica would go, really? And he'd be like, I'm not afraid of Tommy, and I'm not really afraid of Nicole and Cliff. And Jessica would be like, wow. It's like he was laying it on so thick, and Jessica just stood there confused. Like, I'm the biggest threat? It really was quite funny watching the conversation with Jessica. And Jessica tried. She was like, I would never go against you. I would never make a move against you. We complete each other. You complete me. Never let go, Jack. All that shit. She was doing it all. She was throwing it all to the, like, I would have never have done anything to you. Nope. I'm sorry. It's just a game move, and I'm so in love with you. I'm so in love with you on a love level of real life, emotional, real life love levels that we're in love. But on a game move, I gotta put you up, Jess. But don't worry. I'm letting you fight for it. I'm letting you play in POV, and that's just the way it's gonna be. It's just the way it's going to be. So that's why I say it was very much reverse campaigning. It did not matter at all what any of these people said. When Jackson's mind is set to something, it is nearly impossible to convince him otherwise. And he legitimately knew they were showering off from the wall, and Jackson went right up to Christy in the shower and said, it's going to be you and Jess, but you're not the target. 5 minutes after the competition was over, he knew who his targets were. It didn't matter what there was nothing any of these people could have said to him to change his mind. So now, nobody really has done anything. It has been a lot of nothing happening in the house since then. They've all just been waiting for this POV to start. And now, like I said, the scenarios will come into play where, God forbid, Jessica wins. Sorry. If Jessica wins, then Christy will go, and Cliff will go up next to her. If Tommy or Christy or someone that's going to pull Christy off, she will come down, Cliff will still go up, and then Jessica will go home as planned. That is basically the way this week is supposed to work out. I heard people saying McCrae said it was BB Comics. I'm really not sure. Normally, BB Comics happens at night, and I feel like normally BB Comics happens after the double eviction. Like, it's usually the week after the double, but then again, I also feel like the double got moved later into the season this year, so maybe it could be this week. And then, yes, usually it's at night. I personally would not like, and Hide and Go Veto is during the day, and this is the right time for Hide and Go Veto. Personally, for me, I think Hide and Go Veto needs to be retired. The house guests know how to manipulate that game. They have discussed where each of them is going to hide their stuff already. And I mean, I'm saying that, and all know that I love a Nicole and Cliff and Holly and Jackson alliance, but I do like fairness of sorts in the game. I guess I'm hypocritical because I pick what's fair and what's not, but I love them, and I don't even like them telling each other where they're gonna hide their vetoes so that the other people in their own alliance don't find them. It is just a very easy game to manipulate. I just think it needs to be retired from Big Brother at this point. Could it be a maze? Maybe they got lost. No, I think there are only two competitions that last this long in all the years we've been watching Big Brother. It's Hide and Go Veto or it's BB Comics. We don't ever have POVs last this long. Not even OTEV lasted this long. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. But that's where we stand right now. Let me say this first now, to all of you. So, I don't think we've talked about this on a live feed update show, but maybe I did and I have a horrible memory. So many of you may know that the reason things have been so crazy for me this season is that I was taking care of my father-in-law, who has now passed away, and everything is okay and fine, and I love all of your love and support about it. It is going to allow us to get back onto a more normal schedule now with these shows, so that is a positive thing that has come out of it, aside from him, no longer being in pain or suffering after the last year. That being said, tomorrow is the wake, Monday is the wake, and Tuesday is the funeral. So I will not be doing any shows tomorrow, Sunday. I will not be watching with you guys or live tweeting. I will be at the wake. And then same thing for Monday and Tuesday morning. Or, I don't know, Tuesday I think we will have a show. I think Tuesday I will be doing a live feed update show for sure. John will be doing a patron show on Monday. So you guys will be getting a show on Monday. It'll be the patron show. And you will be getting a live feed update show from me on Tuesday. It just probably won't be until way later in the night. It won't be so early on Tuesday. So bottom line, I'm saying it's going to be a little play it by ear for the next 3 days. And then we can finally go back to being on more of a schedule with all of these shows. But I very much thank you and appreciate all of your guys' kind words and love and support for it. I sincerely thank you. I've seen everything you all have said. It's very hard for me to reply to everyone, but I have read it and it is very sweet, and I have showed my hubs and he has loved it. So thank you. Thank you, all of you, for that. Now, that being said, let me wrap up the show, and then I will come back here into chat. So just let me wrap it up for the people watching this back later. Then I will be right back in. We'll have a little bit of an after show here on TV Co. So that being said, if you guys want to see any of our previous shows or any of the other stuff that we've talked about, you can check it all out at yourrealityrecaps.com/bb21. Flashback times, previous shows, shows with house guests, spoiler graphics for this season of Big Brother, flashback times, or any season of Big Brother. All of our content is on the website, as well as all of the other shows that we cover. Check them out over there, Survivor, Amazing Race, etc. If you want to be an updater, yourrealityrecaps.com/updaters. We could definitely use some people as we're closing out the season. Make sure you follow us on YouNow. That is where we do shows every day, as well as TV Co, where we are doing them right now. TV Co, YouNow, that's where the shows are live. Then I post them to the website, iTunes, YouTube after the fact. So if you miss them live, don't worry. And then, of course, lastly, become a patron, yourrealityrecaps.com/patron if you want to help support our shows. Patron-only Facebook group, prize giveaways, weekly shows, the after shows with this season's house guest will be over there. You can always do a one-time donation at yourrealityrecaps.com/PayPal, and follow us on Instagram. Follow us everywhere on social media. Follow, share our stuff, 5-star rating and a nice review on iTunes, thumbs up and subscribe in YouTube. Super helpful. Tell your friends about these shows. It is the best thing that you can do to help, is spreading the word on social media. You guys are our best advocates. That being said, the challenge is starting. I know you guys want challenge shows. I'm working that out. And I have another surprise about new content that I will be letting you guys know on Wednesday of next week. I will see you guys all later. Bye for now, everybody. Bye.